Morning. Thank you for joining our DAB Roundtable Discussion this morning. Thank you. And I would just briefly introduce myself, even as you have already known who I am. I'm Tuen Mun, the Vice Chairman of DAB. I'm also Legislative Councillor representing Tuen Mun area. Today we are going to explore a very important topic, which is about the development of Tuen Mun West and Tuen Mun. And I have to thank all the guest speakers for joining our roundtable discussion this morning. By way of background, I just have to briefly let everybody know what we're doing today. Since the government has actually unveiled a new development plan for Tuen Mun and Tuen Mun West, I think they launched the development plan just a couple of months ago in Metro, and the government has already launched a public consultation in this respect. And as you might be aware, the fact that I have always been championing the development of new economy, new industry cluster. For Tuen Mun, we need more jobs, we need more new industry cluster. And maritime industry is always something that we focus on. And this sort of advice has been repeated to the government time and again. And thankfully, the Hong Kong SAR government has taken on board my advice, and in the development of Tuen Mun West and Tuen Mun, they also put an emphasis on creating new industry cluster. They picked maritime this time because of the very nice location. It's just located by the sea, and Tuen Mun West and Tuen Mun will be designated for a new area for storage and processing of new maritime energy, namely the green methanol, which is the future of the green energy. And so, because we need to listen to more important stakeholders in the industry and see how we're going to make good use of this development and maximize this opportunity, getting the most out of this new development in Tuen Mun. We believe that it's not only about storage, processing, it's more about value-added service, more maritime service, how we're going to make good use of this sort of development in Tuen Mun and attract more companies or maritime companies to move there and to build an industry cluster. And that will be an icon for Hong Kong. So this is why that we actually make the theme of this roundtable discussion, the Tuen Mun, the next Green Maritime Center. So that actually reflects what we are thinking. So first of all, I will introduce our VIP first. Sitting next to me is Miss Sandy Chen, who is a good friend of mine. We have known each other for many years, and I have to thank all her contribution to maritime service industry. And without her, I wouldn't have known any of the knowledge of maritime service. So Miss Sandy Chen is the Managing Director of the Hong Kong Shipowners Association. We have Captain Lee Jin Handa, who is the Director of the Hong Kong Shipowners Association. And we have Mr. Han Lin Fong, which is the General Manager of Bureau Veritas of Hong Kong. I visited France earlier this year in January, and I met with his colleague back in Paris. And back to Hong Kong, we come across with each other, and I'm honored to have him to share his knowledge and his thoughts about how to develop the green maritime energy, green method. Thank you. And also we have Mr. James Young, who is the co-founder and CEO of our Climate Impact Corporations. He has a lot to share about the green energy too. And last but not least, we have Mr. Sunny Wong from Pacific Basin. Thank you. So I think let's start. I will pass on to Ms. Sandy Chen first. Sandy, maybe you can share with us your thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. It is my pleasure to once again join the roundtable discussion with the DAB. There are always plenty of shipping stories to tell, particularly regarding green shipping and smart shipping. So a very good topic to me. Yes. Indeed, I've worked in many different public and private sectors. I would say that shipping is the most complex industry that I've encountered. Its ecosystem is not easy to understand, and it is a truly global industry. Ships, we could imagine, ships cross the oceans 7 days a week, and the industry is often impacted by geopolitical factors. Additionally, it is subject to all sorts of monitoring and regulations from various authorities across different jurisdictions. So as a result, issues can arise anywhere and at any time. But shipping is really important. It is it contributes to almost 90% of global trade transportation. So it is very important to ensure the smooth operation of the global supply chains. So thank you, Holden, for inviting the Hong Kong Shipowners Association to take part today. It's encouraging to see our political parties recognize the importance of the industry. As a major trade organization in Hong Kong, we play a vital role in both the local and international arenas. We now have about 200 corporate members, including ship owners, ship managers, and other service providers, such as marine insurance, ship finance, maritime arbitration, energy and equipment supply, ship surveys, and brokerage, etc. So, for obvious reasons, the challenges faced by the Hong Kong shipping community are more difficult than ever, given the local business environment, the trade war, and recent geopolitical developments. In light of these challenges, I'm pleased to see at least 3 recent major government initiatives to support the industry, as well as the broader Hong Kong economy. So Holden, I would like to use this to set the scene for today's discussion. Yes, so the first initiative is the government's action plan on Green Maritime fuel bunkering, which was promulgated in December last year. Throughout the years, the Hong Kong Shipowners Association has been a strong advocate for green shipping. Our members' companies are always ready to support global decarbonization efforts, including our guest speakers here today, so all our member companies. And as the industry leader, we are committed to offering many practical insights and sharing our practical wisdom with policymakers at all levels on target setting and incentive measures to achieve our common goals. So we are very pleased indeed to see the commendable progress in the delivery of the local government action plan as outlined by the Transport and Logistics Bureau, in particular the adoption of a multi-fuel strategy for a zero carbon emissions future, and the simplification of the approval process for green maritime fuel bunkering. These are no easy tasks, and thank you, Holden, thank you for your contribution in this respect. And the second major recent government initiative is about the promotion of commodity trading, as set out in this year's budget. Again, this has long been advocated by the Hong Kong Shipowners Association. The reason is simple. In the Hong Kong context, commodity traders plays a crucial role in supporting and enhancing both the maritime and financial services industries. It is often argued that shipping follows cargo, since commodity companies control the cargo, so shipping companies and related service providers will follow. To continue to grow the maritime cluster in Hong Kong, we must attract more commodity trading enterprises to set up business in Hong Kong. So we are pleased again to see that our advice has been well received by the government. According to a policy paper of the Transport and Logistics Bureau presented to the Legislative Council last month, and Holden very quickly passed this paper to me. Yes. The government is proposing a half-rate concession for physical commodity traders, including those in clean energy. So in order to attract them to Hong Kong, This is very good news indeed, and we very much hope to see the early completion of the legislative process to put this incentive in place. So the ball is very soon on yours, Michael. So the third key initiative is the latest development plan for the Tuen Mun and龙鼓灘combination, as proposed by the Development Bureau. I've spent some time studying the plan, which is quite a long paper indeed, and I'm encouraged to say that this is a most visionary, comprehensive plan that deserves the support of our legislators. The smart and green industrial port is an excellent concept, achieving multi-objectives simultaneously. While I'll leave it to the industry experts, including the other guest speakers here today, to explore the implementation details, I would like to highlight 3 aspects of the plan that are not particularly appealing. First is the park-type development concept in the paper. This approach is important and practical because this could create a clustering effect, leading to greater efficiency and better synergies among the core industries identified in the plan. Say, for instance, we could make use of this park-type development to attract greenfield testing and certification institutions to Hong Kong, to develop another Hong Kong brand, a brand that always commands the trust of the global community. Second is the reorganization of existing brownfield operations. Because previously I was also involved in quite many planning issues, so I know very well that developing brownfield sites has always been challenging. And there are currently some brownfield operations scattered around Long鼓灘. Yes. So this new comprehensive development plan may reserve open air sites and sites for developing multi-story buildings in Long鼓灘for the relocation and reorganization of those existing brownfield operations based on their industries. So this would allow these operations to be upgraded and transformed for higher productivity. Again, this is important. Along with the development of the core industries of advanced construction, the circular economy, and modern logistics identified in the area. So this is a well-integrated approach in my opinion. Third, of course, I'm pleased to note, and today our two district councillors also here today, I'm pleased to note that about 35,000 jobs are expected to be created throughout this plan, which includes concrete proposals to improve the transport connectivity in the area. I think we need to bear in mind that these are local job opportunities for residents in the New Territories West in particular. Of course, there are many issues to be addressed. For example, transportation, safety, training, communal support, and so forth. But this is a good start. So with these initial thoughts, I wish I already set the scene for discussion. All in all, personally, I believe that this latest development plan will supplement the government's efforts to promote green bunkering and commodity trading in Hong Kong. So it's a good plan. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, and especially the highlights of synergy. It's not about just purely storage of green maritime fuel. It's more about also including the green fuel testing, which you mentioned, and also for bunkering service. So I probably need to ask Captain Hunter, so what sort of thoughts that you will share with us on that particular respect, and what sort of synergy you think that you could bring about, in this new area? Thank you. Thank you, Captain.
Thank you, Mr. Chow, for inviting us today, and as Ms. Chan has already set the scene for this new project in Tuen Mun. I will probably build on the existing regulations which are already in place, existing action plans which is there, and provide some kind of recommendations to enhance not just Hong Kong but Tuen Mun's new plans position, especially on green fuels, commodity trading, and maritime infrastructure as well. I will touch upon 5 basic points and provide some recommendations for each category. So firstly is to position Hong Kong beyond the trading hub, which is already in the plans as commodity trading. Hong Kong should aim to become a green fuel exporter, especially because of the leverage, how we can leverage the green fuels which are going to be produced within the GPA. So for recommendations to do that is when we are constructing this particular project, we have to make sure that the terminals which are built on this site are bigger and more flexible, which can both receive as well as deliver the green fuels. Of course, this will also have to include the technical specifications of the piers and the terminals, etc. Depth-wise, there should be enough drafts for the vessels available so that sufficient quantity, once available in Hong Kong, can be exported. So this will enhance the commodity trading aspect as well. If possible, to see how best can these terminals on this site be connected with the production sites within the GBA. This will probably require dedicated terminals, especially for green methanol and also in the future ammonia, because that will be the next particular fuel. That will be the next fuel within this multi-fuel scenario which the government has envisioned. Therefore, this will enable an integrated fuel supply chain platform linking production, storage, shipping, and trading, financial trading as well. To expand on the second point is how we can encourage innovation and also local production. The current focus is on incentivization for usage and users and bunker operators. However, it should be taken one step further to extend the incentives to green fuel manufacturers, technology providers, and startups in the supply chain. The government has a lot of initiative on innovation and technology in the last year's budget, as well as in the Chief Executive's policy address. So some examples of this could be providing R&D, research and development tax credits, or grants for pilot projects, or subsidies for sourcing new feedstock for production of green fuels. Within the site, there could be space for a partnership with academia and startups, which the industry could foster, a Green Maritime Innovation Cluster. And of course, we have had a lot of interest recently from companies within mainland and GBA, so some sort of partnership, joint ventures should be encouraged.
These startups, would you mind I interrupt? These startups will focus on what? The innovation on green fuels? Green fuel?
Yes.
So improve the qualities of green fuel, or sorry?
Sir, currently there is no production of
Yeah.
green fuels
Yeah.
in Hong Kong except for probably biofuels.
Biofuels, yeah.
So the limiting factor within that category is the feedstock.
All right, okay.
So the startup and research and development into sourcing new types of feedstocks.
Okay. Okay, yeah, please, Kevin, please, thank you.
So I'll move on to my third point, which Mr. Ann already mentioned a little bit, is about testing and certification.
Yeah.
But I will also include training for the ecosystem, for the people working in this particular site, because as we know, there are different risks associated with different types of fuels. So all the people associated in the site need to be fully trained on the new fuels which are coming in, especially the hazards associated with ammonia, which is eventually going to be the future. So the recommendation would be to build a center of excellence for green maritime fuel testing, verification and certification in Tuen Mun, and also incorporate advanced R&D labs for fuel emission quality and engine compatibility studies. Develop specialized workforce training programs and green fuel certification courses with global recognition. Of course, we'll be happy to collaborate some partnerships with international bodies for this particular initiative for training, setting up of the training programs. Of course, my next point is on future-proofing the infrastructure for ammonia use and beyond. So ammonia, as we know, is anticipated to be the next fuel which will come after methanol and probably will be the dominant fuel in the future, 2035, 2040 onwards perhaps. So the infrastructure which is designed or to be designed at the Tuen Mun facility should have modularity and scalability for easy upgrading to cater to ammonia and other fuels which might come up in the future as well. Therefore, it is necessary to develop protocols and storage standards, safety procedures, which probably Ritas will highlight a little later, on the best practices, learning from the best practices emerging from global practitioners already. Last point is improvement of transports and logistics. Roads and marine access are already planned, and perhaps it is also key to look at the future of connectivity through rail, not just for people, but also for the cargo or the new fuels moving in and out of Hong Kong. Within the infrastructure site, there should be probably looking into, it will be good to look into building of effective and compatible pipelines which can have multi-fuel usage capability.
Multi-fuel usage, right?
Yes. Which will also enable speeding up of the handling of the green fuels within. Of course, green fuels usage is very important for Hong Kong to become emissions free as per the targets set by the government till 2050. Therefore, it will probably be good to invest early into clean energy vehicles being used and smart systems to track and optimize the fuel deliveries and shipments within the area. So these are some of the recommendations and suggestions which we have from technicality. Of course, I've not gone much into the details of the technical aspects, but if there is more to discuss, we're happy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chang.
Thank you, Captain. Key takeaways here. I think I should have explained a little bit more to the people who are not very familiar with shipping industry. The Captain mentioned ammonia. By way of background, the green methanol is something that we focus on right now. It's going to be very popular. It has already been very popular right now, but the industry is also looking forward to developing ammonia as the next step, next phase on one of the most important green maritime fuel. So I can see your point. Why when we build the infrastructure in Tuen Mun, that they should be able to cater to the future need of ammonia, or perhaps maybe another type of new green energy. So it must be kind of transformable, right? So that is, yeah. So and that is something that we have just discussed. It's just by way of background. I have to let you know that ammonia is the next phase. And I'm turning to Mr. Han because it's going to be a very important point, which both Captain Handa and Sandy mentioned, that Hong Kong can actually be a new center for green fuel testing and certification. And when I visited Paris earlier this year, And as we all know, Bureau Veritas is the global leading companies in doing this testing. And even his colleague told me in Paris that he also believed that Hong Kong would have a great opportunity to become the hub, the center for doing good testing for this green maritime fuel. And because of this opportunity which already been given to Tuen Mun, I would like to ask you to share your expertise and how we're going to make good use of that and how to make the most out of this great opportunity. Mr. Han, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Holden. Thank you, DAB, and thanks everyone here. So quickly introduce Bureau Veritas. As Holden rightly said, we are an international leading company who provides testing, inspection, and certification. So the head office is based in France, Paris. So we are a French company. So well, we are excited to see the Hong Kong government and has such desire and to build this maritime center in Hong Kong. Well, I'm a new Hong Kongese and just come here last December. So I've been in Singapore, UK, so I can see they are everywhere and developing maritime center. But Hong Kong, I can see we have lots of people and who were involved in this industry. So what we need is probably like policy, the government incentive, and also to have the key stakeholder identified. So, well, basically say this area is ready to develop. So here I'm going to talk about well, more from my own background to see safety and also how efficient we should. And when we compete with other ports like Singapore, etc. So what we can compete and efficient is probably one of the key. And also the how to develop the maritime cluster. And we have other things to offer to the stakeholder. So they are willing to come. Things like a container terminal, etc. So also I want to touch base a bit of like how other from our experience, how other city or other port or other country use the government incentive and to develop. Maybe we can share some opinion. So first of all, about safety. So this is going to be a reclaimed land, but it's still close to the residential area. So the green methanol or the ammonia we're going to develop, and we're going to have some sort of hydrogen and biofuel, all these type of green fuel, and it's all possible. But all in all, safety is most important. You don't want to hear any incident from the media. And a few years ago, and there's a LNG bunkering in Barcelona. It's in the city center. There's some leakage, and immediately you can see that in the city center, the top of the city center, there's a mushroom cloud, and immediately it's in the news. So everybody will feel, wow, that's dangerous. So safety is most important. So the second thing is emission. So how we can make this emission to the lowest. So, at the moment, the IMO, International Maritime Organization, have the MEPC 83 trying to decarb for the whole marine industry, as Sandy and Captain Nathan rightly said. So how we can compete is we reduce the emission as low as possible. So the whole GFI, because IMO calculates the GFI. If we are talking about the green methanol, they will trace from well to wake So from very beginning, how you produce green methanol, and then how you use on board. So this, they will check all these GFI figure. Then ship owner and the user will have to pay based on the GFI. So the lower GFI, the owner will benefit more.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, so that's very, very important. So from loading, from discharging, from storage, every sector has to consider, you know, the low emission. So yeah.
So do you mind I ask the emission of what element? Emission of reducing
the
emission of
green of methanol.
methanol.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Emission of
Yeah.
Carbon emissions.
Is it carbon emission?
emission.
Yeah. Reduce the carbon emission. Okay, that's
Oh well, we can
okay. That's
forget
okay.
carbon
Yeah,
emission.
yeah. And the GFI is just the figure that you measure on how basically how much carbon you are emitting in the course of the
Yeah,
entire.
yeah. Whole life
Yeah,
cycle.
yeah. The entire procedure. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. So how we think about this marine industry cluster? Well, means like how many jobs we can
Yeah.
get this, right? So we can do this the testing of this methanol.
Yeah.
So this involves with one is obviously like university have the research and
Yeah.
development, etc. Cope with government initiated or even the DAB involved with this R&D. Right. So also local testing service, the quantity, so this balanced principle, and also life cycle emission verification. So from producing, processing, and to end use. So this need to be verified, unfortunately. So then also methanol fueled ship operations, things like bunkering barge,
Bunkering, yes.
etc. So all need. So from all these we can see we need young talent from university, etc. to start this research, R&D, to get involved, and also local testing service like Bureau Veritas can offer such service, and also life cycle emission verification, and like Bureau Veritas and others, and can get involved, and also young talent can get into this methanol bunkering vessel, the operator, etc. And we don't see as many young talent in marine industry as before, unfortunately.
Oh.
So this may have a good opportunity to encourage them to get into this, because this is the future. The green field, green maritime is the future. So they can see if they get involved, well, they can be safe when they retire. They're still in a job.
Right.
Yeah. So about the bunkering option, like in Tuen Mun, and at the moment, what we can see, because the water is running very fast, so the ship owner would like same ops bunkering, simultaneous operation. Let's say for a container vessel, they want to take a bunker. They prefer to take the bunker when the ship is alongside at the berth, rather than they have to go to the anchorage, spend another 12 hours. Basically, this 12 hours to them is a waste, kind of like the time. But if they can use this berth, and when they are doing the cargo operation, then they save this 12 hours. So this is we should consider this. Maybe say for instance, Hutchison Modern Terminal can work with them, and also to get a policy ready, so we can bunker the methanol. We already in Hong Kong we already have LNG bunker
Yes.
and SEM ops in Modern Terminal. So I don't see any reason why we can't do the methanol bunkering.
Oh, okay, so I'm sorry to interrupt again, but this is gonna be important. So what you're saying is, for operator, for the container, the vessels, they have to load and unload the containers, right?
Yeah.
And at the same time, what they could do is you make good use of the time. You don't waste the time. They're just
Yeah.
doing the operations and they loading the container. You can do the bunkering at the same time.
Correct.
All right, okay, and that is for, okay, right, for the time being, LNG is also possible, it's feasible for doing that?
Yeah, it's
LNG
already
is feasible.
happened.
All right, okay,
Yeah.
so, for green methanol, it's the same. So you believe that it should be done in the same way? So when you load the container, don't waste your time, you do the bunkering at the same time.
Yeah.
So we can do it even in Tuen Mun, right?
So not in Tuen Mun because there's no container terminal or there's no any other kind of terminal.
Oh, all right, okay, so that must be done on cargo terminal.
Yeah.
Unless in Tuen Mun, well, we leave every options open. Unless there are new cargo terminal, container terminal in Tuen Mun, let's say, unless
yeah.
that happens. Otherwise, it must be done on a container terminal, like say in Kuiching and something like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I see, thank you.
And
Yeah.
one thing is also, when the bunkering barge taking the cargo from Tuen Mun,
Yeah.
so they should be ready to do the same ops rather than they are going to the terminal. So this is the way we should think about it.
Oh, I see. So Tuen Mun is somewhere that you dispatch the bunkering, yeah, okay, the bunkering service. Okay, that's fine. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you.
So there's another thing is the government incentive for this maritime center. So good to see Hong Kong government has already released this incentive subsidy scheme. One is if you're going to taking the bunker and the first taker will receive 500,000 Hong Kong dollar. The ship owner
The ship
will
owner.
receive this incentive.
500,000.
Yeah, $500,000 Hong Kong dollar. Right. So to LNG, to green methanol, to ammonia. Obviously LNG already happened, but green methanol is not yet.
Oh,
So
okay.
wait to see the first person to eat the crab.
Okay.
So also important is like a green corridor, right? So we've done some research. Unfortunately, there's no officially announced green corridor. So the whole marine industry is really working on this. So official green corridor. Say for instance between Hong Kong and Rotterdam. Let's say.
Right, that's right, yeah.
So this needs a lot of stakeholders and also government and to provide policy and also incentive plan and also for instance give some benefit when a green corridor ship is coming to Hong Kong. Maybe you pay less port fee. Maybe you get a priority to go alongside first. Because the ship is coming, normally they need to wait at the anchorage. Then when the next berth is ready, but you're always by the quay. But if you are in the green corridor, you can jump the quay a bit and get the benefit.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
So that is something that, I'm sorry to interrupt again, but I think the audience might be interested to know a little bit more.
Yeah.
So for the green corridor is something that, if, let's say Hong Kong and Rotterdam,
Yeah.
you do a green corridor,
Yeah.
the vessels that dispatch from Hong Kong, they can enjoy more privilege at Rotterdam,
Correct.
right? Okay, and because of course, you must meet some of the requirement to be qualify in the green corridor. Let's say you meet the green requirement and stuff like that, or you use green methanol, you use the bunkering service, and as long as you meet this requirement and you have the green corridor between Hong Kong and let's say Rotterdam,
Yeah.
when you go the other side, you have the privilege, and your ship will, the whole operations will be quicker for you. That's it.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Basically you get the benefit from being green corridor vessel.
Yeah.
Then the key stakeholder will say, yes, why not?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm going for it. Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, Sandy, please.
May I also intervene in this respect about green corridors?
Green corridor.
Because indeed, the Hong Kong SOA has been advocating for this for quite some time, and we have put forward this proposal to our government and also in the mainland that we know that it's not easy to have the green corridors because you need to fulfill quite a lot of requirements. So we always with these beautiful concepts, with these beautiful ideas, always start with the easiest ones. So now, because now I can tell from the Tuen Mun location map, the concept plan, there is already the green corridor idea.
Yeah.
So say why not we start from within the GBA, the Greater Bay Area, say between.
From Tuen Mun to GBA cities.
Exactly.
Okay. Then you start off with the easiest green corridor.
Exactly.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, from
I
the
see.
easiest one
I see.
to the more difficult ones.
Okay.
And then because now actually Shanghai has also already Shanghai already also have plans with green corridors with LA and Rotterdam. So say why not between Hong Kong and Shanghai?
Okay.
So start from the easier one so that we may move forward.
Shanghai has already started their green corridor with LA and Rotterdam.
After that,
Just preparation, but they start the procedure.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Good to know.
it may be difficult to finally realize such long corridors between Hong Kong and other parts of the world. But at least between Hong Kong and other GBA
We need to
cities.
at least make the first move.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Okay.
sorry
Yeah.
for
Please.
Well, that's
Very
really,
interesting
really
discussion.
valuable comments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I've got the last item to share, and just the Green Maritime Hub.
Yeah.
So just from my industry, just to share, what we have learned or researched. So far, like Singapore, Rotterdam, Antwerp, and Shanghai, they are top 4 ports, the Green Maritime ports.
Right.
So the Green Maritime ports, when we are thinking about the Green Maritime Hub or Green Maritime Center, so we probably should think beyond green methanol and more to the ecosystem.
Right.
So these facility, etc., needs is like onshore power supply.
Yeah.
This is unfortunately we don't have here yet either the cruise terminal in Kai-Tak
Right.
or the container terminal, and we don't have onshore power system supply yet.
Oh.
Yeah. So this is also obviously like we have a lot of like tidal boats, etc. So maybe in the near future they will use the electrical tank, but where to charge? So all these are and one of the big factor is the onshore power supply system, and also
It must be installed in Tuen Mun or within the neighborhood, right? The onshore power supply.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
So Tuen Mun, maybe we can consider one of Tuen Mun can be one of the hub to have this service.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. Because
That's a
you
good point.
cannot,
Yeah.
as I understand, like in Kai-Tak, the cruise terminal, it's not as simple as we think. Yeah, we should, but there's a lot of infrastructure and feasibility.
Yeah.
and
Cater to the
to-
need.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
So-
I see.
so-
I see.
Also, and have such as like exhaust gas cleaning, ballast water discharging, carbon capture and storage. These are also good to have as a green maritime hub. But another most important thing is you need to have green bunker supply, like LNG, green methanol, biofuel, ammonia, and hydrogen. So these will all combine together to be recognized by the world, saying, yes, we are ready. We are Green Maritime Center, rather than, we only do, this by this.
So you mean, there must be available bunker supply of not only green methanol, but also like ammonia, hydrogen, biofuel. These options must be available as green bunker supply in Tuen Mun in Tuen Mun when you're running this sort of maritime center.
Yeah, I would say, we probably should not say must, because it's just if we are setting this task as a must, then it probably will never happen.
All right, okay, I see.
So we will need to consider, let's say Captain Nathan also mentioned the ammonia.
Yeah.
So ammonia, if you're saying, so I'm going to do this simultaneously together with green methanol, maybe that's not a good idea. But if we get this ammonia ready, let's say ammonia is like explosive and toxic, and also have strong smell, and also have a requirement for the storage, minus 30 degree, or maybe James will tell more, right? So these, if you're saying, we get this ammonia storage ready, and maybe we don't do this right now, once we get the green methanol in place, and then we should say, this is our next step.
All right, okay, I see what you mean.
So what I mentioned in these points is more kind of like a scoring point. You have let's say onshore power system, you got maybe 10 points. You got B, you got another 10 points. So whoever get the most points is the top. So unfortunately, right now Singapore is the top, the best score.
So they have everything right now. They have everything.
Yeah.
Right.
These they have.
Like a supermarket.
Yeah. I'm not 100% sure hydrogen if they have, but the rest of what I mentioned.
All right. Okay. I see. Good to know. Yeah. Okay.
That's from me.
Thank you, Mr. Han. No, thank you. I appreciate you for this good insights, and this we learned, the green corridor. Yeah. So might be a long shot for the time being, but I think we must get started anyway, because other cities have already get started with this sort of things. Thank you for your very good thoughts, and I think I'll turn to James. James, would you like to share with us the climate impact of this sort of things and your expertise in this area? Thank you, James.
Thank you, Holden. It's a great honor to be here in the DAB headquarters and to join this. I think it's a very important and timely roundtable. I'd like to split my talks into 3 parts. First, I'd like to give a short background of the company, Climate Impact Corporation. And then secondly, I'd like to talk about our observation on the green fuel demand globally. And then thirdly, I'd like to give my humble 2 cents on how Hong Kong should position itself on green fuel. Right. Climate Impact Corporation is a company that I co-founded together with 2 other Aussie partners back in 2022, actually in Hong Kong. Our business focus is to develop large-scale off-grid green hydrogen projects globally with an affordable price. Pricing is very important. You're gonna hear me keep stress on that. Our first 2 projects, 10 gigawatt each, total 20 gigawatts, are based in the middle of Australia with aim to ship downstream products such as e-methane, green ammonia, to Japan and Europe by the 2 ports, Port of Darwin and the Port of Adelaide. We have been working with our customers, such as well-known utility giants and the ship companies, for long-term offtake contracts. These projects are expected to be in production starting late 2027 and then fully complete by 2032. By then, we'll produce over 1 million tons of green hydrogen annually, which can be turned into almost 6 million tons of green ammonia. Most importantly, the pricing of these replacement energy, e-methane and then green ammonia, is only within the range of double-digit percentage higher than the traditional energy price. So instead of 4 or 5 multiple times higher than you have heard. This makes green fuel a completely affordable energy and can be used widely by a pure commercial approach. Secondly, I'd like to share with you on the global demand of green fuel. Despite Europe has announced a demand of 20 million tons of green hydrogen by 2030, which is rather aggressive and most likely cannot be met. They are building hydrogen pipelines, corridors to the industrial clusters to connect most part of Europe, which is due to be complete by 2031. At the same time, ammonia tanks are being built in the European ports. Starting 2028, we can ship green ammonia from Port of Adelaide through Southport to Port of Rotterdam directly. We're working with one of the major storage groups in Port of Rotterdam for ammonia storage, as well as the cracking facility for hydrogen. So that means we will be able to ship the ammonia to Rotterdam. They can either use the ammonia to do the powering, or they can crack back into hydrogen and then put into the hydrogen pipeline to supply the rest of Europe, including countries like Germany. Bidding process for storage is undergoing right now. Actually, we have already submitted a bid, and then it will be effective from 2027 onwards. The demand is strong, and then the storage offtake is filled up quickly. Green fuel is not in the future, it's happening right now. So we do have to do something about it. On the other hand, our clients are looking to place 20 years of supply contract with us starting from 2027. Demand for green fuels are planned and secure as we speak, as the infrastructure would normally take 3 to 5 years to build. If you don't take action now, it's going to be unlikely to meet the decarbonization.
Sorry, 3 to 5 years is what you see even in European countries? Let's say Rotterdam, as you mentioned, that they have good storage for green fuel. It takes 3 to 5 years for them to build the infrastructure?
Correct.
All right, okay.
So currently the pipeline connecting the rest of the Europe is being built by it's a part of the government initiatives, while the tanks itself, it takes a couple of years to build. And then so is our productions, for example, to produce the green hydrogen. So it's unrealistic to expect to buy any large quantity of green fuel on spot for a reasonable price by then. So when you reach 2030, you say, I want 10 million tons or 5 million tons of hydrogen, there's no way you can buy it. It's all being offtake. Lastly, I'd like to share my view on Hong Kong's green fuel initiatives. I think Hong Kong should move fast to grasp the rare opportunities in this coming wave to be in the leading position again in the maritime industry. We just talked about the Rotterdam situation.
Yeah.
I'd like to share with you on the Singapore situation, why be slightly different. Singapore is more focused on the soft side. So soft infrastructure, instead of to being a production site or leveraging on their own infrastructure to supply the other part of the Asia, they actually more focus on the regulation, financing, and insurance. So the way they're doing right now is to establish frameworks for the methanol bunkering, launching green financing initiatives, and then investing in its own smaller scale production capability to fuel domestic shipping and improve the technology. So I believe Hong Kong, the takeaway for Hong Kong is really better to be a hybrid model. So we have the financial powers of Singapore and then the opportunities like Rotterdam to build the integrated physical infrastructure. Even China mainland is right behind us. The goal for Tuen Mun, I think it should be a merely replicable one of these models, but then to synthesize on them, right, becoming the Rotterdam-like a physical gateway for green fuels into the rest of the Asia Pacific. And underpinned by a Singapore-level financial and the regulatory ecosystem.
Right.
So I've put down a couple of points, I think, in detail how we should think Hong Kong should be. Number one, I think Hong Kong should plan to build the bunkering facility not just for methanol but for ammonia. I think both the other speakers already mentioned.
Yes.
The reason we only hear the methanol, not the ammonia, is because the new ammonia ship will only come out the first launch in 2027. But after that, we believe ammonia will be a crucial part of maritime industry, both as a shipping fuel and also as the commodity to be shipped. So for example, if we want to ship to Europe, we will ship ammonia. So that's the product needs to be shipped.
Okay.
And then it also is a part of the shipping. Because ammonia is a less bulky as methanol.
Yeah.
Number two, Hong Kong should define itself as the bunkering center in Asia, but not necessarily production site, as it doesn't have a large-scale land reserve suitable for vast solar and wind production. Instead, it can take the green fuel from Australia, from GBA, from Inner Mongolia, for elsewhere, as long as the mass works. So it's a cheap enough, you can take the products from anywhere to be used for bunkering in Hong Kong.
Right.
Additionally, like aviation in Hong Kong, large shipping companies should be allowed to or encouraged to buy their own green fuel to be stored and bunkered through the independent facility.
Right.
Number three, Hong Kong should work closely with the industry to encourage green fuel, green ammonia-related technology ventures. By leveraging the well-established academic resources, ample talents we have, and a friendly regulatory regime. This new tech company can also be supported by the Hong Kong's robust capital market after initial commercialization, which can be achieved via the collaboration between Hong Kong, GBA, and even Australia. So there's some technology can be developed, and then after that we can use, for example, in our large site or in GBA, produced by GBA, and then we'll be able to be listed in Hong Kong. These can including any of the electrolyzers, direct air capture. We have water capture machine, so you capture the water directly from the air, like a huge dehumidifiers, or any of the robotic surveillance technology, and so on and so on. I think we have a great universities, we have a great talents, and then the only thing we don't have is the manufacturing and then the application sites. Manufacturing can be done in GBA, the application sites can be in Australia, in our situation. We actually working very closely with electrolyzers company in Sungrow, they are one of the largest inverter globally, and then also a number of new tech companies in GBA and mainland to move these productions and use those machines in Australia. Last but not least, in addition to the proposed carbon exchange, Hong Kong should set up a green fuel exchange for hydrogen, e-methanol, e-methane, ammonia, and SAF.
Green fuel exchange.
Yes,
Okay.
particularly on the green fuel. The fuels.
Is there any other greenfield exchange in other jurisdictions?
There's a lot of carbon exchange.
Yeah, carbon exchange we have, not greenfield exchange. So if we do that, then we will be the first one.
Absolutely. And the fuel don't need to be all physically transport to Hong Kong,
Right.
but can be traded in spot or future contracts in the exchange. I think Hong Kong has a very friendly tax and mature legal system. And then, better than that, this also can be crystallized. Right? You cannot. It's hard to crystallize the shipping industry, but it's easy to crystallize the review.
All right, okay, I see. That
and
link to Web3, yeah. It's a lot more complicated.
And
But
then,
it's good to point out, yes, it's good to
and
point
then
out.
also
yeah,
you can have the investment funds to do all this.
yeah. I know, yes.
So I believe with the strong support from DAB, Electrical and Hong Kong government, I think we will have a bright future in the green fuel industries in the transportation sector in Hong Kong.
Thank you, James. I have probably one or two questions for you, but I think I'll leave it to the Q&A because we need to leave it to Sunny first. And Sunny, please share your thoughts to us, please. Thank you, Sunny.
Thank you. First of all, thank you, Holden, for inviting us to join this roundtable discussion. A little bit of introduction of our company and myself. I'm Sunny Wong. I'm the manager of sustainability at Pacific Basin, and I develop and execute a company's sustainability strategy. So Pacific Basin is a Hong Kong-based shipping company, and we operate dry bulk ships. Currently, we own around 110 ships, and we operating a fleet of around 280 ships. So you can have an idea on our scale. So today, I want to share three things. First of all, is from a ship owner and operator perspective. Why do we need green fuel, and what we have been doing in this area, and finally on how the government can support and also develop itself into a green maritime hub. So I will first start off with shipping. So shipping industry is a highly regulated industry, and if you may not know, shipping is actually the first industry in the world to have the mandatory greenhouse gas reduction rules to achieve net zero by 2050. Even the aviation sector has not implemented mandatory yet. So, shipping decarbonization is the most challenging issue currently in our space. And despite we have been doing a lot to improve, let's say, our energy efficiency, and also to adopt various operational measures to reduce our emission, we cannot achieve net zero purely by doing this. That's why we need the new green fuel. And for doing so, first of all, we need to build the new ships. That's why from last year, we actually make an announcement to order 4 new methanol dual fuel ships that is capable to run on green methanol, biofuel, and also even conventional fuel. And so now we have the ships. What's next is actually the fuel. Green fuel is very challenging because it is costly compared to conventional fuel. The price difference can go up to double. And so it may hinder our incentive for doing so. But actually, because of regulation, there's a very strong drive from the industry, from the regulator, to actually force shipping companies to gradually absorb this green fuel. So I want to emphasize that there is such demand, and the demand is coming. So, and this thing is becoming real because initially when we talk to various green fuel producers, they just said, hey, no one is ordering green ships, why we are listening to you, and why we are doing, let's say, green methanol or other green fuel. So from a supply perspective, they want to wait and see. But then until the MEPC 83 outcomes, we are seeing that there is a shift from these green fuel producer because they are really seeing the real rules are coming out. So the demand is there, and now you can say the issue is really on the supply side. And this is why for us, we have recently signed 2 MOU with 2 companies, and one of them is Town Gas. And we want to secure our access to this green methanol for the coming years because our new ship will be delivered in 2028 and 2029 onwards. So you can see that there is demand and the supply is growing, so there will be a market. And this is what Sandy and also other speakers have just mentioned. It will be good for the Hong Kong government to establish really a market for this green fuel. And it also not only benefits the shipping industry, but also other sectors, let's say the financial services, etc. And the key thing is why we are reaching out to town gas. I want to touch a little bit on that because of China. So if you look at the figures, China is actually the largest maybe producer of methanol in the world, but it's not green methanol, but I would say industrial use methanol. But the key is you are going to make the whole process green so that you can have green methanol. And whenever there's already a, I would say, very well-established infrastructure system and also a very well-established supply chain, that makes China a very good place to produce green methanol. And Hong Kong has our own unique position because we are, China is at our backyard and we have a lot of connection also activity with China. So this makes the whole story even more compelling, I would say, and easier for us to decarbonize as a ship operator and ship owner. So if you look at what 2 to 3 years ago when China introduced the concept of new quality productive forces, and green transformation is actually the core element. And so you don't need to worry about whether I can have sufficient renewable energy to produce those green fuel because China has proved that it already has such thing there. So it makes everything very easy. And what Hong Kong can do to capture such opportunities is really leverage this development and also movement, especially when you see a lot of multiple advantage from building a green maritime hub. So, and Hong Kong has such a unique, location and also position. And so the Tuen Mun development plan can serve as very good, pivot point for such development and also trial, so that you can also attract some ship owners, early mover ship owners like us, which has those new generation of ships, to attract them to come to Hong Kong for bunkering, and then you can also enrich and also develop other related industries. And because traditionally, if you look at the shipping bunker sector, there are two major hubs in the west and the east. One is in Singapore and the other one is in Rotterdam. And I would describe that this green transformation in the shipping sector actually create kind of a disruption to various bunkering hubs. And if Hong Kong can actually leverage this disruption and rebuild our competitiveness in the region, we can actually enrich this industry even further. And not just only Tuen Mun as a site, but also maybe other parts of Hong Kong for such green bunkering activity. And a little bit on, so how can the government support everything? I would say most of the suggestions are being covered in the previous conversation, but I think the key is really to have those infrastructure ready so that, because when our ships, let's say, come to Hong Kong for bunkering, it's not only talking about the parts that the bunker has transferred to our ships, but also from the transportation of those bunkers from the production sites to where we do our bunkering, those parts also has to be green. So when Hong Kong government is thinking the whole story, they should not only focus on, let's say, the bunkering part or the shipping part or even the storage part, but also more on the whole supply chain. So in the end, this concept of developing a green maritime hub is not only focusing on one industry, I would say, but actually we are doing a lot.
Yeah, thank you. So, sorry, would you mind I ask a question, just very, very important?
Yes.
You say, yeah, I agree with you. The bunkering, so it's not about bunkering surface or shipping being green. It's the entire procedure starting from day one. You ship the bunker from the production site to the terminal, and then you deliver the bunkering surface to the ship. So can you name an example of how would you deliver the bunker from any production site and then to the, just name an example so that we know what's happening right now. I mean, for the time being.
Yeah, sure. Maybe I'll take the example from town gas, which is also publicly available. So they have the production sites now in Inner Mongolia. So the closest
In the
port-
Mongolia?
Yes, the
All right.
closest port is actually Tianjin, and how they can deliver the green methanol from Inner Mongolia to Tianjin is actually by railway, and the railway is actually using electricity and renewable energy.
Oh.
So actually, these can lower the carbon emission
Right.
during the whole transportation process. This is one of the examples.
Right.
But because let's say Tiger is also developing manufacturing in southern part of China, which is around Foshan, and so they can also arrange another method is by water, which is they can have green methanol barges that are also burning green methanol
Right.
to transport those green methanol fuel to let's say Hong Kong for bunkering. So
All
this
right,
is
I
also
see, I
possible.
see,
So
I
there
see.
are
So
multiple
it's from the
ways.
production. It's from the production side by burning also green fuel by
Yes.
travel by waters all the way to Hong Kong, and then Hong Kong deliver the bunker to
To
others.
the ship, yes.
All right. Okay. I see.
So
Entire chain has to be clean, green. Right.
yes, entire supply chain has to be green.
Yeah, that's it.
Exactly.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Please. Yeah. Please.
Yeah. So another wish list is because we are also a member of the task force for green methanol bunkering under the TLB, and we want to emphasize that the government has to accelerate all the actions because our competitors are doing a lot, I would say. Let's say in Singapore last year or this year, I think they have already conducted the ammonia bunkering trial already, and successfully Singapore ship to ship, and it is a ship to ship transfer, which means they take the most challenging part, and when they do the most challenging part, then the easier part, no problem, okay. And this is why we think that the government has really has to accelerate everything, including setting up the platform that connect those green fuel producer and also the user, which is let's say the ship owner operator. I know the TLB is doing that already, but we are still waiting for the update. Because from our experience, when we do such a reach out, we just really do it by ourselves, by doing search, by knowing who is in this field. But because in the beginning, no one is actually doing that, so it is a little bit tough for us. And such, the government can really facilitate such collaboration. And that's very key to what I just mentioned in the beginning, to create a market for such thing to happen. And so our wish list is really hoping the government can, do more, and we are waiting for a lot of developments coming up.
Okay, great. Thank you. I think all of our guest speakers have shared their very invaluable thoughts and insights. So that goes to the last bit, is just question and answer. If you guys don't mind, I have just one question to ask. Particularly, I heard from James, but I wish to clarify that, as you said, Rotterdam and Singapore, Sunny has just mentioned, are the two very popular ports that deliver bunkering service for green fuel, right? In the whole world, Rotterdam and Singapore, right? That's what you point out, right? Is it?
Currently, you can say yes.
Okay, yeah.
Currently.
Yeah. So let's say if these two cities are doing a lot to maximize or to boost their ability of doing this sort of bunkering service, and I just heard that James had pointed out that Rotterdam, they spend a lot of effort on the storage for hydrogen or ammonia. So what I'm going to ask is, for any given city, if they are determined to develop this sort of maritime hub or maritime industry, they need to have storage, bunkering service. Do they export? Yes, that's exactly what I'm going to say. Do they also have to facilitate the commodity trading and export? Because you have only if you have the storage, you have the infrastructure to do the storage, and then you can do bunkering service, and you also do export to do commodity trading. Because you recorded the policy address delivered by CE last year. It put an emphasis that Hong Kong must also develop commodity trading. And one of the things that we learned is the storage is also important for commodity trading. So what I'm going to ask is, if we're going to develop our maritime hub in Tuen Mun, we need storage, which we're going to have that. we need to have bunkering service offered to ships. And the storage, we also need to have infrastructure to facilitate commodity trading from Hong Kong to others. Is that the case that you see in Rotterdam?
Yes. The storage that in the Rotterdam that I'm referring to, which they have a bidding process right now, is not just for bunkering. Bunkering is just a very small part of it.
Right.
It's for the fuel itself.
Right.
So we ship the, in 2028, when we ship the ammonia from Australia to Rotterdam, they're going to put into the storage, and then they can separate into different boats and to the rest of the Europe, or they can crack this back into the hydrogen and put into the pipeline.
Right. So, okay. So the storage is important for doing exports and commodity trading. And Rotterdam is one of the cities you notice that doing that very well. Right.
Very advanced. Not necessary for the commodity trading, because the trading can happen even without the physical products present here.
All right.
But definitely for the export.
Export,
Okay,
okay.
you can. It's a gateway through to the rest of the Europe, just like Hong Kong is in and out from the China
Okay.
and the rest of Asia.
I see. Captain, you would like to share with us, please.
I absolutely agree with what James just said. We must not confuse commodity trading with exports.
Okay.
They are two different things. Of course, exports are a part, maybe a part or a subset of commodity trading,
Yeah.
but they are entirely different. So physical exports of the cargo, because we are planning such a big and such a new age storage facility,
Yeah.
bunkering will only remain a very small aspect of it. Although Hong Kong currently is number 7 bunkering port in the world for conventional fuels, the more types of fuel we have available in storage, the more higher the bunkering status will become, yes.
All right.
But the bunkering will always remain a smaller aspect of this thing. The most important aspect and the most financially viable aspect would probably be export of green fuels.
Export of green fuel.
Because if you consider our immediate region, Vietnam, Cambodia, all these other places, Thailand, so Singapore is securing their fuel from Australia, and these regions will also probably look to secure from China, or if we can step in those shoes earlier, then we will be the winners. So we need to be, we can export to these places which are not really manufacturing these green fuels or do not have sufficient availability, but will be very happy to receive these fuels for their various industries.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
so we need to target the exports as well as trading.
Right, okay, okay, okay. And any other cities that you see are very determined to develop export? Can you name?
Yes, there is this project or a study or initiative. It's called Clean Energy Marine Hubs project, which is a partnership between IAPH, which is the Port Association, and International Chamber of Shipping, and this is a ministerial level initiative. And we are happy to tell you that after our efforts, mainland China has joined this initiative.
Oh,
And we have recommended to the government as well to join the initiative separately, because this is the blueprint for the clean energy marine hubs, all clean energy ports. The basic idea is that green fuel will be manufactured in only few limited places around the world, but it will be shipping, which will ship these cargoes or these green fuels to different places in the world. So that is the basic idea of this, and we must essentially look into this project, the Green Energy Marine Hubs project, very carefully.
okay.
And then also,
Please,
for
please.
Australia, the other mentioned, Australian government has set Australia as a hydrogen country. So that means we will export. So we will export through the Darwin, port of Darwin, to Asia, which is very close to Japan and Korea, Hong Kong, or other places. And government has spent over $2 billion to construct a deep sea port, in addition to the existing Darwin port. So specifically for energy export. And the other example is in the South Australia. So next to Adelaide is a port of Benson. So the SA government designated that as the hydrogen export port.
Alright.
So they are putting a lot of infrastructure around. So for the routes from Adelaide through Southpool and then all the way to Rotterdam.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Yeah, that's all from me, and I leave it to the floor. I leave it to the floor. Is there anybody who would like to raise any questions to our guest speakers? I'm sorry, we are running slightly over time. I'm sorry, but because I'm sure that you are happy with, you know, the thoughts shared by our guest speakers. I think if there's no questions, that we probably end here. And again, thank you for all your participation. Thank you for the guest speakers. So give them a big round of applause. Thank you. And I'm sure that having learned all the expertise this morning, me, myself, and my district councillors, colleagues, and also my DAB colleagues, other district legislative councillors, will work together to, you know, to steer this sort of things, because this is gonna be a very important, I would say, a new economic pillar for, you know, for the city, and that's gonna be important. And thank you for all your sharing, and we'll stay in touch with each other. Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you.